All right, so let's get to this video. Let's get to this video right now. We heard what Lacrae did on his song, right? But I didn't even know that it was cool like that, right? Okay, so it was just a random person. Okay, it was just a random person. All right, well, okay. But I didn't know that Kendrick and Lacrae was cool. So he actually made a video about the battle. I ain't gonna play all of this, but if y'all want to watch all of it, y'all can watch it on his YouTube channel. I didn't know that he even had a damn YouTube channel. So shout out to Kendrick for shedding light on this. But he was actually talking about the battle. I'm just gonna play a little bit of it. But if y'all want to watch the whole thing, y'all can go check out him on his YouTube channel. All right, this rap battle isn't about what you think it is. All right, so this is him explaining what he believes. What Drake and Kendrick Lamar battle is about. All right. So let's check it out.
Under a rock, you know about the Drake and Kendrick. Unless you were under a rock, you know about the Drake and Kendrick battle that ensued. You gotta throw J. Cole in there as well. This is not like two boxers or UFC fighters getting in the ring and they respect each other. This is more along the lines of real hatred. I mean, Kendrick said,
I hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk. I hate the way that you dress.
Some people would say battle was won by Kendrick. But the bigger question is, what is the battle? The problem in this entire thing for me.
This is the deep end with Lacrae.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
Unless you were under a rock or you were not paying attention to anything on social media, you know about the Drake and Kendrick battle that ensued. And also, you got to throw J. Cole in there as well. There's a lot of characters you could throw in there, of course, but for all intents and purposes, I'll talk about Drake, J. Cole, and Kendrick. And this is not just a conversation about them. It's a conversation about us. It's a conversation about what we believe and think and who we are internally. Because I feel like what happened with them is a picture of a lot of things in society. But for those people who are unaware, behind the scenes, there's been some kind of back and forth for years between Drake and Kendrick. And there's been like undercover jabs in music over a period of time, but it got a lot more overt when Kendrick put out a song with Metro called Like That. And basically he just took a bunch of shots that were clearly at Drake. And he, one that would seem like it was saying, J. Cole, if you want the smoke, I got it for you as well. The response was initially from J. Cole, who wrote a song called 7 Minute Drill, where he went at Kendrick. He later said he felt terrible for it and couldn't sleep. He apologized, took the song down, and stepped away from the battle. And then from there, Drake and Kendrick began to trade shots in terms of songs. It was kind of like Drake would release a song, then a couple weeks later, Kendrick, and then Drake, and then Kendrick right back at it. And it went back and forth until what I believe is Drake kind of said, all right, I'm done with this. Now, depending on how you view it, some people will say the battle was won by Kendrick. But the bigger question is, what is the battle? Like, is it a battle of who's the best lyricist, who's the most popular, who can rap the best? Like, what is the battle? And I think that is also a question we got to ask ourselves, right? Because there's a lot of people who are team Drake because I think they see themselves in Drake, right? They value what he values. There's a lot of people that are team Kendrick because they see themselves in Kendrick and they value what he values. But more than anything, I think so many of us are just people who are spectators. And behind the scenes, there's real lives and real challenges and real problems taking place. And there's real consequences. And we're bloodthirsty and we want to see a lot of this ensue because it's entertainment for us, kind of like the gladiator games. And because there's no real consequences for us, we're not really invested in seeing this land in a healthy way. We actually want to see more jabs and more salacious stories and how intense this can get. And I'm not speaking for everybody, but I'm speaking for certain people. I think for me, it hits a little different. One, because I'm a rapper, right? Obviously. I grew up in the culture of hip hop. I actually know two of the artists personally. One of them I know decently well. And I love the Lord. So there's a lot of tension, even in my own soul, about all of this, right? I think first and foremost, let me just tell you this, okay? I know Kendrick Lamar. I've known Kendrick since probably, maybe 2009.
I didn't know that. So when I was watching it, I was like, oh shit. So y'all been cool. Oh, that's what's up.
Before he was the Kendrick that we all know. When I first met Kendrick, I had more followers on Twitter than he had. You know what I mean? And he put out this song called The Faith. And when he dropped the song, I reached out to him because I was like, wow, I was intrigued by his open wrestle with his faith. And we just began talking. And then we started texting and talking on the phone and just kind of built a relationship that just over the years, it's been like a very I haven't really detailed a lot of it because for me, I never wanted it to seem like I was clout chasing or I was using his name to somehow bolster my career.
And he mentioned that in the first beginning of his song too. You know, he was like, should I make this song because people think I'm a clout chaser? And this video was made 3 months ago, right? You can see right here. Yeah, this video was made 3 months ago. But he had mentioned that in his song that he wrote using Kendrick Lamar's beat, right?
Plus, there were real things that, you know, he was asking me questions about, and I just didn't feel like that was my place to be like, hey, let me tell the whole world this for my own gain and my own benefit. So I would say this: I've known him as a person more than just a rapper, and when you know a person, it adds a different layer of nuance and complexity when you see this type of battle, because it's not just me watching two people as a spectator go to war. It's seeing real human beings. I've met J. Cole a couple of times. You know, we had a couple conversations, nothing too crazy. Actually, it's kind of embarrassing. My first conversation with J. Cole is really low-key embarrassing. Not even low-key, it's high-key embarrassing. Why not? I'll just tell y'all the story. I wrote a rap about it. I don't think I ever put the rap out, but the song was like, ran into Cole at the Super Bowl. I was super thrilled. And that's the truth. I was, you know, at this time I was drinking too much. I don't drink anymore, but at that time I was in a weird place with my faith and everything. And I was battling with alcoholism, functional alcoholism at least. Had too much to drink, ran into J. Cole at a Super Bowl party. It was a private event. And there weren't a lot of people there. It was like me, 2 Chainz, Rihanna, J. Cole, maybe some pro football players. And we're just hanging out in the lounge. And I walk up to Cole and I'm like, yo, man, you know, can I ask you a question? He's like, yeah, what's up, man? I said, are you a Christian? I don't know why that, like, it was more obnoxious. It's like, why is that the leading question that I come out with? Not like, how you doing? What's your name? Here's my name, blah, blah, blah. Like none of that. I'll skip the formalities. Just no foreplay, just straight to the heart.
Pause.
Are you a Christian? And he said, no, I'm very familiar. I've studied it, but I would say I'm very spiritual, not religious. You know what I'm saying? And I said, okay. And I said, well, man, I'd love to just chop it up with you. You know what I'm saying? Talk a little bit, you know, I might be slurring, but in my mind, I'm a picture of Jesus. I'm going to talk to you a little bit, you know what I mean? And I said, man, you know what I'm saying, man, take my number down. I told him, I said, yo, take my number. And he took my number in his phone and he begins to walk away. I said, yo, you didn't even write my name in the phone. I didn't even tell you my name. And he looked at me and he said, I know who you are. And I was really embarrassed at that moment. You know, one, because, man, I just felt like I missed out on an opportunity to have a regular conversation with J. Cole and like an engaging conversation. But instead, I just looked like a drunken fool. So I am years into my sobriety now, thank God. But yeah, it was a weird place. All that to say, that was my kind of one of my initial interaction with Cole. The second one was not as chaotic, so thank God for that. All that to say, my interaction with him, I felt like, man, this is a regular good dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't walk away like with this idea of him as some kind of superstar. I saw him as, he engaged me.
Let me go to this section right here. What is there battle? Okay, yeah, let's go to this part. Right?
There's people locked behind walls right now that if they got free, they would go back for Kendrick. Let me just say that. Now, I don't know Drake's world. I don't know his side. I'm cool with some of those people who are locked behind walls right now, you know, and I think that's a real thing. The tension for me is that the human condition is at play here, right? Like, I think in some sense, we all need friends like Kendrick who are going to tell us about ourselves. I never want to have to run into somebody in a rap battle to tell me the truth about myself. I do think Kendrick is like, bro, you need to work on yourself as a man, Drake. Like,
and that's what he was doing in Meet the Grams, right? He said, fuck a battle. This is a life battle with yourself, or this is a battle with your life, or lifelong battle. Yeah, but that's basically what Meet the Grams was, right? Meet the Grams was telling Drake about himself. Right. So I guess that's what he's talking about was Meet the Grams, because that shit, yo, I remember watching Meet the Grams. I mean, not watching, listening to it. I was driving on my way to Cheddar's. And I remember this. It's crazy how I can remember my first time listening to the Grams. I was on the Beltway. We was going to a restaurant and it just popped on. And I was like, what the fuck? I heard it. I said, whoa, what is Kendrick doing? Me and my girl at the time, we listened to it. It was like, wow. It was like, sheesh. Like, it was just quiet. It was quiet for like a few seconds. I said, oh, damn. Somebody got to die. I ain't gonna lie. I said, oh yeah, somebody about to die. I said, somebody about to fight. Somebody about to die. Like, after my first time hearing that song, my first reply was, oh shit, somebody about to die. Cause the stuff that he said on that song, I said, holy. I said, fuck, I think this battle just turned for the worse. Cause somebody got to go. Somebody got to go. Yeah, so I think that's what he's talking about, because Kendrick was definitely telling Drake about himself.
Like, you are a kid from Toronto who was not cool. You were not the cool kid in school. You were a child actor. You weren't really in tune with hip hop culture or black culture for that matter. You were raised by a Jewish mother. You are a spectator in this world of urban culture, and then you're trying to enter in it. You were on record historically saying how the way hood people talked in Toronto was ignorant, right? So this is not something you live and breathe. When there are issues within the black community, you're not raising your voice to say, hey, this needs to stop. You profit off of misogyny and off of, bragging about how much money and jewelry and cars you have. There's no songs in your catalog that are trying to help shape the community that you take so much from in terms of the craft, in terms of who you use for features and so on and so forth. Now, it's not to say that your stardom and fame has not lended its power to these artists to help them rise. It's just to say that there's been no overt communication about the plight of disenfranchised people in minority communities that you do work with so exclusively. So it can feel like appropriation. And it's why I think Kendrick becomes the people's champ, is because though there's inconsistencies, though Kendrick may talk about some stuff that's like, yo, we don't want to see you, have to gun a guy down. We don't want to hear the tough talk because we know that's not where you want to go. By and large, he's talking about how a human being becomes healthier and healed. By and large, he's a person who's seeking wisdom and seeking to give it versus just to live a YOLO life well into his late 30s and early 40s.
Exactly. And I pointed out, I'm like, Drake, bro, how old are you? Man, come on, man. You got to grow up eventually. Drake's 37, still trying to cater to the young people. Right? Like, bro, when you going to grow up, man? When you going to start talking about some different things, right? He's still making songs with Sexy Red. He's still, doing all these childish things. Just like, bro, you're going to have to eventually grow up one day. Like, start making some strides to, actually being an adult, instead of just want to turn up and pop pills and talking about mob ties and all this shit.
So that's what I love. I love that the People's Champ came with a battle that challenged someone to grow and not be stagnant and continue to perpetuate a false reality. You know what I mean? Like, Drake's not a tough dude from the hood. He's a pop star from the suburbs of Toronto.
Facts.
And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that he's not embracing it.
Facts.
Justin Bieber embraced it.
Facts.
Right? Or whoever. It's like Kanye embraced being a college dropout.
Facts.
He never tried to be a tough guy.
Facts. Yo, I'm telling you, man, look, Drake could have had the possibility to be the next Will Smith. That should have been his lane. He could have been the next Will Smith. He could have been rapping. He could have been, making movies. I'm sure he's a good actor. Well, clearly he's a good actor because he's been acting like he's a rapper for 10 years. So this nigga been playing the longest script ever. Matter of fact, he better than Will Smith. He better than Denzel Washington. This nigga been playing a role for 10, 11, 12 years, nonstop. So shit. You know what I mean? But that should have been his lane. He should have went the Will Smith lane. You know what I mean? They ain't trying to be gangster. Make your little hip hop, dun 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 dun, get jiggy with it. Dun 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 dun. You know what I mean? I'm going to Cali. You know what I mean? That should have been his lane, and then he could have, did a little bit of acting because he got an acting career. But now he want to be a mobster. He want to be a gangbanger. He want to be Six God. He want to be all this shit. Goofy.
So I think that's the associations and so on and so forth makes it weird. Historically, rap battles have been about who's the better lyricist, who comes with the better bars. I can't sit here and say Drake didn't hold his own. I'd be lying. Like, lyrically, I think he did hold his own. But I think that Kendrick, the man won a Pulitzer Prize for his use of words. That's a tough person to go against. I think that Kendrick is a phenomenal wordsmith. Now, the problem in this entire thing for me is that I still believe you have two people who are fighting for a sense of identity. Because why do you have to be crowned the king? Why do you have to be known as the best? Like, what are we chasing? And in my mind, it's the same thing that Lucifer was chasing after. He was saying, like, listen, I need to be seen and known as respectable. You need to put some respect on my name, and I'm going to show you that I'm better than you. It becomes a problem when your identity's on the line. See, when you're playing basketball, it's not the same type of, it could be identity wrapped up into whether you win or lose. That can be a thing. However, for the most part, it's not a war trying to tear down someone's identity. It's not me trying to best you to show you you're fake and I'm real. It's not me trying to best you to show you that I'm superior to you. And that is the ultimate problem with finding our worth in what we do. What we tend to do is find the quality of our work as the quality of our worth. And I think that's a lot of what we're seeing between these guys, which I think is so unhealthy. Because at the end of the day, in order to be great, you've got to have someone less than you, right? That you got to have someone to step on in order for you to have value and worth. If we're talking about the quality of our work, if your identity is shaped by what you do and being the best at it, then you got to step on someone else to prove that you are worthy of whatever it is you say you are. You know, C.S. Lewis says in Mere Christianity that we're not really concerned with having money. We're concerned with having more money than the next person. The idea is that we're just constantly comparing ourselves to someone else to see how valuable we are. Because if I have $100 million, but there's no one else on the planet, it doesn't make me better than anyone because there's no one to compare myself to. So we get stuck in this, what I would say, identity trap. And at the end of the day, we're fighting the human condition. And the human.
All right, so I don't want to play the whole thing, but if y'all want to check out this, you know, definitely a dope video. So, you know, if y'all take the time, I want to play the whole 40-minute video, but this is, so I didn't know that, you know, they were cool.
Jersey. Yeah, man, I'm ready. Look, New York City, I can tell the people want it. Yeah, I said that.
Saints coach just quoted Kendrick. Nah, I didn't see that. Let me see it. I'm about to check it out. But yeah, I don't want to play the whole thing. But you know, if y'all interested to hear more of what he said, definitely go check out his channel. I'm about to definitely subscribe to his channel because I like what he's saying.
Tell a lot of it because
you know what I'm saying. So
for me, I never wanted.
I'm gonna go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I'm gonna stay locked in. Pause, no Diddy. You know, so if y'all want to check out that, go check him out. I just subscribed. You know what I'm saying. I'm gonna go ahead and hit the like button because I like where his head is. Pause, no Diddy. But so I just wanted to play some of that real quick, right? Because once again, Kendrick Lamar put him in the bar, put him in a song, and then he made a song. So I just went back and I'm like, all right, so let me check this dude out. And he seemed like he a pretty cool dude. No Diddy. All right, moving on.